Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How you doing? Welcome again. Excuse me, to another episode. Arise opinion don't matter. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. Again, hopefully all is well. And before I get into too much of anything else, number one, make sure y'all make God first. You don't have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. I'm no tech. I know I kid around a lot of times about that point. God is good, and I wouldn't be, not that I'm somewhere great, but the fact that I have a relationship, He's my Lord and Savior. That is probably the greatest choice. Well, it definitely is the greatest choice that I ever made. But outside of that, I wanted to get into some stuff as it relates to what are my plans as it relates to investing. You come on this live, do a brother a favor and the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Those that do be on my live on the regular, they already know videos like this. I know it's going to cut out a whole lot of the rhetoric that goes on with YouTube and a lot of the what I call crazy. I enjoy it. It's fun. It really is. I'm not going to sit there and act like I don't enjoy the smoke, because I really do. It's intriguing to me that people feelings against somebody that most of them don't even know. So, as far as that goes. But anyway, God is good. Hey, a world away from here. How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming in. God bless you. Hate you. Appreciate that music. Appreciate that music. Appreciate that music. I love it. I've been enjoying it. I got one that I have on a separate playlist. One for some reason it just grabbed my attention with that. So I moved that over there with another playlist. I still have it where it's at, but I put another part of it into that, being my other rotation of music that I listen to, because I just like, for some reason that one grabbed my attention a little bit more than the other one. I like them all. But so I appreciate that. Real talk. But it's to the what are my plans? And I was trying to give people a little bit of time to get in, or whatever case may be. But I've been watching stuff. I'm gonna get into some other stuff too, but Stellantis stock. I really wasn't watching the stock. What I've been watching is following people that are really into cars, Mopar. I'm trying to see what direction Stellantis is going with, as far as company-wise go. Because I know that the Trump administration has been deregulating a lot of this stuff as it relates to vehicles, emissions, and all this other stuff. And so I've been following his channel is TK Garage, and he's a big Mopar guy. For those that are in the cars, he's a big Mopar guy. And I don't know if you guys ever seen the show Roadkill on a regular. Those guys, they had a whole big event about this type of stuff. But Stellantis is, from what I'm understanding, is they're bringing back the VLCat. Some of the cars that we as Americans like, horsepower, not these little toys that they keep making, that nobody really wants. I mean, they're buying them because they need them, but they're not buying them because they want them. I think it was like a jazz one that said 80s and 90s to it or whatever. But if you go to my channel, you'll see there's relaxing. It's definitely in there because that's the one that I listen to. I labeled the channel, the playlist in my channel, relaxing. It'll be in that one. And the one that I moved it to is private. It's not a public Yeah, but you're the one that I'm talking about is still in the one that says relaxing. So I have a playlist on my channel that has all of the music that you did, maybe all of the longer ones, the longer versions that you did. I have it down there. All of it's everything that you did World Away From Me is actually in that relaxing playlist. There's nothing else there. That way it doesn't get mixed in with everybody else, all the other type of music I listen to. And it's still public, so you should be able to see it there. But it just seemed like it said 80s and 90s or something like that. Yeah. That one, like, that's my vehicle music. My vehicle, that's part of that one. But yeah, so I've been following Stellantis, and is they bringing back the SRT now. I was earlier today, and they're talking about the Viper, which I don't know if they're bringing it back or whatever, but I like American brands the way American brands work. Like, I like American cars the way we make our cars. All of this technology and all this other dumb stuff that they keep putting in these cars that nobody uses, making these cars extremely expensive, I don't like. And I think if Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, if they get back to basically making good vehicles that people want, they might end up turning the car sales in America around. I mean, yes, I know vehicle are reliable and stuff like that, and I get it. I want the same thing too, but I think we have gotten so far into technology that we forgot reliability and affordability. You get what I'm saying? And this is where I think a lot of these American car companies have went way wrong with affordability and reliability. Nobody cares about that no more. Like, they're so busy that they are so technology driven that the two fundamentals that make people want cars, because nobody wants cars, they buy them because they kind of they're not at the point where they want them because they're not reliable as they should be, and they're not affordable. Two things that makes a person want to buy and continue to affordability and reliability. But right now, all they're worrying about is technology. Oh, how much more technology can you shove in a piece of crap that nobody wants? They buying these cars, but they buying them because they're kind of somewhat forced into it. But the car owning experience has been, in my opinion, the car owning experience is horrible. Nobody wants it. It's too expensive. Car insurance, car notes, everything has been brought to the point where most people don't even want them. No. They got them, but they don't really. But it looks like to me the Dodge Ram is trying to reverse course on some of that and get back to making strong cars that people want. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. And with that, because of that reason, I've been like slowly feeding money into their stock. So I was just gonna wait till I get a good pop and I was gonna sell it. But this time, I think I'm gonna change my course on that one and probably just ride it out long term. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing my live the other way because it's just I really needed to cut out all of the rhetoric. Sometimes that stuff is draining, and I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but sometimes I feel like I want to slow it down. I mean, and get back to creating a loyal space to my channel for people that come on my basis and watch my videos on a regular basis. So that's why sometimes I get, hey, just for real, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Appreciate it very much. That's the reason why I've been focused a lot on Stellantis. I mean, other than the fact that I might end up having to buy a vehicle at some point. My other reason is I've been focusing on this is because America to get back to what we're good at. The things that we were good at. We're so busy trying to be like everybody else. I never understood, and I get it, but sometimes it gets annoying. We need to go. Sometimes we forget what we're good at. And when it came to the car making, I love American brands. I don't almost every single vehicle, 99% of the vehicles that I've owned has been a Chevy, Ford, and Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and Dodge. I don't go buy Hyundais. I didn't go. I'm not saying I would never buy them, but the vehicles that I've owned has been American brands. So that's the reason why I focus on that. Why? Because in my opinion, if I buy American brands, that's keeping American people working. I've been like this long before a lot of people think that. No, I've been like this for the longest. Like even as a young person, the first time I understood it, I stayed that way. And that's why I personally was buying American brands. I like American brands. I think they started making crappy vehicles. Why? Because the government got involved. And when the government gets involved, it messes everything up. Where I keep trying to tell people, minimize government. Government needs to be out of a lot of the stuff that they're too busy trying to regulate and get involved with Congress and all this other stuff they keep making this. That is just dismantling and disrupting the industry, which is making it by far more expensive because government is getting involved. And this is the reason why I say, oh, we need to regulate it. They're not even doing the job. They just finding slick ways to force more cost on you so that they can take more money for them, so they can lobby for the same stuff over and over. And they're getting rich while everybody else is taking the blunt of the cost of things and surviving this world that they're creating the mess for. Cars don't have to be that expensive. And car insurance don't have to be that expensive. But when government get involved, take away competition, that's where it gets expensive. Because government now was involved and it's causing the expense to go up. And we think that they're actually there to help. But reality, the government is hurting the whole system. That's why I want government out of just about everything I get them out of. Because they are the problem. We don't realize it because we don't really see it. But government, a lot of times, is the reason why. And in most cases, the reason why the cost of living is so high. Because they get involved. But that's why I've been watching them. And even when it comes to cryptocurrency, like I'm not, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't really tell people what to do. But, a lot of the stuff that I've been following, getting into and stuff like that, it helps me the direct way I'm going to invest my money. And so, yeah, I'm going to take the risk and keep buying stuff. Stellantis. Right now, at $9 a share, might be lower now. I don't know. But I bought some more. I bought some yesterday, a little more yesterday. Today, I don't know where it's at. I'm trying to get to. Scrolling through my portfolio. Where you at? Oh, I use Stellantis. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I was right. It's still sitting around $9. I think yesterday I bought it at 8 something, $9 yesterday. But that's the plan with that. Is that as long as it stays down where it's at, and I come into a little bit more money dividend wise, I'm gonna keep buying it. Not right now, but I'm gonna keep buying it. But again, this is the reason why I call it broke man investing. If you don't have a whole lot to work with, you can do it the way I'm doing. I remember one of my lives where people was just like, oh, well, you don't this and that. They think it's something. They try to just what is the word I'm looking for? They try to line people when they don't have a lot of money to work with, or make them feel like they're less than because they don't have a lot of money to work with. Oh, you broke. Everybody broke. And that's why I always say, like, why y'all always trying to undermine somebody and make them feel some kind of way because they don't have what you have. My thing is that's the reason why I call what I do broke man investing. That means that if you got a job or some type of source of income, and it might not be a whole lot. If you only got $1, that's why I say encourage them to use $1. Invest. If you only can invest $1 a month, do it. $1 a week, do it. I don't care. Just do it. Little is little, and eventually, and just keep standing and try everything you can do with your investments. That's what I try to do. I take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, invest on a regular basis, and do everything I can do in hopes to never have investments. But I do make solid investments, meaning I don't invest in a whole lot of risky stuff. I invest where I see people spend money in solid companies, Walmart, Target, places like that. And no guarantee that it's going to make me a bunch of money. But that's why I invest in solid companies that pay out dividends and stuff like that. It gives me a better shot at making some building my wealth, not just, I want to real quick. I don't think that way. I think of building wealth little bit at a time. If I'm going to build a house and I'm laying brick and I'm laying one brick at a time, eventually I'm going to get that house. But when I started, I had to lay a foundation. I had to frame out foundation, pour concrete, whatever I had to do to build that house, roughing, plumbing first, whatever they do. It doesn't start out as that, and you don't quit. Eventually, that you're trying to build will happen. Same thing with investing. I look at it and I start laying a solid foundation of, okay, let me put a little bit of money there, put a little bit of money there, put a little bit of money there, and then watch and see what happens down the road. You just don't know. And that's why, so that was the reason why I stuck with Stellantis. I mean, I'm looking in there like companies like Stellantis. In other words, I was talking about Ford not too long ago. Now, Ford is above my average. When I was buying Ford, I was like 100 shares, and I got to the 100 shares. Now, at that point, while Ford was down, I kept purchasing. I own Ford at $9.65. Ford is currently at $11.65 right now. I kept purchasing. And people say, oh, 100 shares is not a lot of money. No, it's not. It's less than $1,000. $1,000 to a lot of people is a lot of money. To $1,000, some people might not be no money. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as slow and consistent. That's the way I keep investing, consistent. I remember when I first started, when I first found out about Robinhood, when I started investing, I realized that I don't have a lot of money, but I do have $10. I do have $5. I do have $2. Every chance I got, I kept putting that little bit there, put a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And I just kept going. Now, years later, a few years later, I see the fruits of my labor. Why? Because I stuck to it and I tried to do everything I can to avoid touching. That's it. Make sure I was investing in solid companies and slowly build them out, trying to build my portfolio, build wealth. That's it. And I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. I'm on the path. That's all I can say. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy, but I am on the path. But again, there were times I like Target right now is still in the crap hole. Hey Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. God bless you. Hopefully all is well with you, Joyce. Hopefully all is well. Yes, I had to slow it down today. Like even Target, to me, in my opinion, is still in the crap hole, which is, in my opinion, I would still buy. I'm looking at something else, but Target, if I was in the market right now and I would definitely look into Target. It's only $90 a share. Right now, which isn't it's only $90 a share. So I would look at Target and say, oh, you know what, let me jump there and maybe put a few dollars there. UPS is still a buy in my opinion. Definitely looking at UPS. It's still a buy in my opinion. It's up right now today, but it's not up a whole lot. But the reason I wanted to get into is that, and I encourage y'all to pay close attention to what's getting ready to happen as far as the Feds go and the interest rates. That's going to be a big factor on my opinion. The subjects keep coming up is because, once again, in my opinion, Jerome is now too late. If you look at unemployment, has have hit 4%. In the beginning, when Trump was lower interest rates, I disagreed with Trump and said, I think it's too soon. But the next time it came around, I said, yep, I agree with Trump now. In the lower interest. Jerome Powell wanted to pump up his chest And now we are at unemployment rate at 4% overall. Saw it coming. I think this is actually a good thing. Well, people probably look at it and say, oh, no, it's actually a good thing. Now, the reason why I saw this coming is because a lot of these companies, and this is weird and something, are paying people salaries that are extremely high because of all the stuff that was going on with COVID. It ain't but so long they're going to be able to stomach that. After a while, they're going to have to get rid of some big dollars and then bring in some small dollars and revamp the whole system. Get rid of a lot of high-paying dollars. This is what happens. It happens now. It's nothing new. And this is what's happening right now. You think these companies are laying off because of, the economy is going back. Nope. What they're doing is revamp their company, get rid of some high dollars, get people to buy out. So they're going to do all this stuff. Why? So they can maximize their profits. That's what this is going at. Hold on one second, y'all. As y'all know, I'm still battling the cold, but I'll be all right. It'll eventually go away. But these companies, I like how I disappear coming. But these companies are going to go, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to get rid of a lot of high dollar stuff because they get ready to start trying to manage profits. The other thing is they know if the Feds are lower interest rates, they're going to probably start printing money. And to stimulate the economy. This is why I've been laying the groundwork for a lot of stuff that I've been buying, and I've been trying to get it as soon as possible. Homestead, we get, they get this economy rolling. Like I said, I invest in dividends, but I got some risky stuff. I do. Not a lot, but I do. Do what I get. But so I believe they're going to lower the interest rates because the housing market is not moving. The industry is not moving. People are not getting loans like they were. And that's why, in my opinion, they're going to have to stimulate this economy more. Now that Trump did everything that he's doing, and I'll be honest with you, if Trump wouldn't have did the stuff that he did, it'd be a lot worse. And I know they're not going to say it that way, but I'm telling you that if Trump would not have laid and did the things that he did when he got in office, this economy, the whole job market will be a lot worse. He actually, I know people going to argue with me and they're going to say, oh, this and that. Nope, I know what I'm talking about. If he wouldn't, it would have been a lot worse. Trust me when I tell you. It minimized the damage that we could be living with right now today. I'm making excuses for Trump. What I'm trying to tell y'all is it minimized the damage. If he wouldn't have done what he did, coming into office and making all of the fast, quick draft, we would not be, it would be a lot worse. But it's going to be a whole lot better when this thing comes full circle. Argue with me and say all this and you don't know what you're talking about. Well, here's the thing. I haven't been wrong yet. And I'm not saying I'm right about everything. I ain't right about it. But when it comes to this part of it, I haven't been wrong yet. And I'm telling you that I wish I had a lot more money because I will be buying up crazy right now. Even though I don't like where the price is at, because in my opinion, they're high. But I will cipher through what I have and buy a lot more of what I can buy. Anything that I can see, that I can actually maximize my return. Don't get me wrong. My stock portfolios look pretty good. I ain't complaining at all. Not complaining. But this is the reason why I stuck to it. And I kept going in the course that I was going. And I never deviated from it. And even when it looked bleak, I stayed with it and I kept going and I kept going. And because of that reason, I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. Not drastic, but I'm seeing the fruits of my labor enough to know that everything looks good right now. Now, there are other stocks that if I had some money, like If I was really in the mood for buying right now, probably ARE. I mean, I probably wish it was down more than where it's at right now, but real estate company ARE. I got some money there already, and I'm in the red with it. Percentage wise, I'm in the red pretty bad, but it's cool though. I'll still buy some more down there if it stays down low enough. My average cost right now with ARE is $111, and right now the current price is at $84, and my average was probably higher than that, but I just other stuff and I haven't actually bought more than that. But if I was somebody getting ready to buy today, ARE, which is a real estate equity, that would be somewhere I would put money in. Why? Because it's down pretty good. Yeah, it still can go down further. But originally I bought it was $111. It's currently at $84. So that's like almost over 20% lower than what I bought it at. So in my opinion, if I was a pro right now, that'd probably be somewhere I would start at, because then you'd be starting out with an average cost of $84. Even if you only put $10 there, $5 there. And if it drop lower than that, or you come up with someone sitting around there, you can buy into it even more. But yeah. One thing I don't do is run out of stuff to buy. I got plenty to buy. I got plenty, because I'm not a person to sell. Once in a while I do. Hey, top to bottom, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. Got a chance to catch. I didn't get to catch all of the live that y'all had, but I tried to watch as much of it as I can early in the day. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you want it live, please hit the like button. Yeah, I wanted to slow it down today. I wanted, and don't get me wrong, I'm always in the mood and smoke, but I just wanted to slow it down because I really wanted to get back into my as far as investing go, because I haven't really been talking about it, but I'm looking for the Feds to lower this interest, and I think a lot of people are looking at it too. And I think what's going to happen, this is the unfortunate part, because people are just irresponsible when it comes to their spending habits. But when these banks work with and they get more money to loan out, and these interest rates come down, when things become more affordable, people are going to lose their mind again. And it's going to go back to the same thing. They're going to run up a whole bunch of debt. They're going to be, and people like me who invest on a regular basis are going to benefit from it. It's going to benefit from it. And it's going to be a hot moment. And they're going to run and they're going to buy. They're going to forget all of that stuff that they was dealing with. And they're just going to go loose because they're going to just, I'm enjoying life. I'm living my best life. I know it's coming. And then while they out there living their best life, I'm going to be collecting mine. And for those that invest, this is why the rich stay rich. And the poor stay poor. Because the sacrifice for that moment to invest, and the poor, you know what they do. The poor keep people rich, and the rich keep people poor. And until you change your mentality and how you manage and spend your money, you're going to be on the victim end of that. Now, there's a tough road to get from the victim end, beneficiary end. That is where the discipline comes in. That's where the discipline comes in. Getting from the victim end to the beneficiary end. Yeah, it does. It's I can't help the glitchy parts, but it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. I don't know why it's doing it, but it just keeps doing it. I've tried to figure it out. It might be my server. I don't know, but it's been doing it here and there. But I can't do nothing about it at this point. So much go on. But yes, it's like I said, that's why I just say stick to it. Don't give up. And it's funny, as I'm talking about investing, I thought about something that happened when Jay was on his live about the eviction and stuff like that. in my head, I was just sitting there like, this is the reason why I don't want to be a landlord. And I even put it in the chat about why I don't want to be a landlord no more. And the city of Philadelphia has like that taste to be a landlord. They killed it. Like, you don't want to be it because they allow people in the city of Philadelphia. Well, you'll have somebody in your house living rent free for 6 months before you get it if you're not careful. And this is the reason why a lot of landlords don't want to be landlords no more. It's just too risky. They don't care about the hard worker, honest everyday citizen. They try to paint the picture like the landlords are the worst, but y'all causing them. Y'all the reason why they're having these problems is because the city of Philadelphia, when they file for it, they should be out of your house. That's it. You should not be playing with people because you creating this type of mentality. If you stop letting people take advantage of these landlords, they'll start paying their rent. Simple as that. The minute someone does not pay you your rent monthly, whatever way you collect rent every month, immediately when they come later on there, the city of Philadelphia, when you file for eviction and get them out of your house, you shouldn't even have to go that far. And this is what's killing the property owners. And it's places like city of Philadelphia, New York has the same problem, and some other places ran by Democrats. I hate to say it, ran by Democrats was where you mostly get these problems. Not all across the board, but in most is where that problem is. No one should be able to live in your house without your permission. You should be able to go in there and get them out if you don't have a lease with them. There should not be no negotiations there whatsoever. If you come in my house, and whether it's the house that I'm staying in or rather it's the house that I'm renting, if you come in there without permission, the owner should be able to toss your body without having to worry about it. The police supposed to come help the owner get you out and you out of there. Not let this person tear up your house, tear up your body, because this is what they end up doing, damaging, tearing up, and ripping up. You put a stop to that type of stuff, it will not happen. And when it does happen, it'll happen at a minimum. Y'all gave them that right to do this stupid stuff. How they say you give somebody an inch, they're going to take them out. This is the reason why they have that problem in the poverty. And my thing is this: if you are forced to have to work and do the right things, do it. But if you allow people to live like that and take advantage of landlords, and the landlord is dealing with all of this stuff, and then the landlord's like, you know what, I don't even want no parts of it. Now he just want to sell off the property, comes along and buy it. What's up, my brother out the pit? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Someone else comes along and buy this property, and they just, and then now the property value going down because nobody wants to be bothered with it because people don't. There is no money in it. There's nothing lucrative in it. And it's just a mess. And then what happens is even with companies and stuff, even businesses, it's the same thing. That's why you can't just allow people to come in and steal and rob and steal stuff out your business. You allow this behavior to go, it's destructive. That's why I say to people, everybody's paid for theft. It's not one person, everybody pays for it. But if you allow this type of behavior to take place in your community, it will destroy the community. It's a guarantee, and it's just going to happen. So if you let people to just stay in people's houses and tear them up, who owns a house, who's there trying to make money, because here's the thing, these people are not buying anything. They still. They're not buying anything. They're not contributing to the economy. Y'all feel sorry for the people that are not contributing to the economy. If I go live in somebody's house and I'm not paying no rent, I'm already taken away from somebody that exits and pays businesses and spend money to repair and buy the product to keep their house, keep their property. Now I got somebody standing, ain't doing none of that. All they do is drain in the system. Living in not paying electric because they still in that. They're not paying gas, they still in that, and they still in the rent because they're not paying the rent. And they're not fixing the property up. So how in the world is that beneficial to the economy and the community? It's not. It's the same thing with a thief. To your store and they steal. It's destructive. That's why businesses leave these areas. They say, no, when we tried, it was a worse investment we could. Get out of there. Shut it down. We're going to go where open up stores where we make money and there's less aggravation. And then they'll sit there and turn around and say it's racist. And it's not. It makes sense. Why would I do business this with y'all if y'all gonna steal from me. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care who you are. This is where it becomes destructive. And this is the reason why I say, but again, that's why I got out of that. And so that was the reason why that business, and I don't want to be bothered with it, is because that type of mentality is destructive to somebody that's really trying to build wealth. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. I won't be bothered with it. Really see that it's going to get bad. And when you have Democrat-ran cities, it gets worse. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. It's going to get worse. And this is why I got away from doing the real estate aspect of it. And I really started diving, investing. And more reason why I went the dividend stock way is because I'm still getting rent money off of my investments in the form of a dividend. That's the reason why I went that way. I ain't got to evict nobody. I ain't got to go get tenants. I ain't got to go repair nothing. And the return on investment is darn near the same, and in some cases better this way. And that was the reason why I got away from dealing with real estate on that aspect of it. Does that mean that it's a bad idea? Nope. Do I think people should not get into real estate? I'm not saying not by any means. My point is, if you're going to get into real estate, you might want to be very careful of where you get into real estate at. Because if there's a lot of places like the city of Philadelphia, and then the other, look out for their cronies. And the other thing is they be looking out for their cronies. They'll dismantle something and then find one of their buddies and then try to get them to get the property next to nothing. They're extorting people out of their properties in the city of Philadelphia, in New York, and places like that. They're doing little slick ways to do it. Believe me when I tell y'all don't. And they keep acting like we for black and brown people. No, they not. They for thieves and criminals. This is what they are. This is why I'm very selective, and I should have been this way a long time of who I vote for and why I vote for them. I'm very selective. And I don't keep up all of the hype and stuff. I don't care about that no more. I'm very selective. I don't care. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm at this point in my time, there's not a Democrat that I would ever vote for. Slightly John Fetterman. Slightly. But outside of that, no. But this is the reason why my vote went the way it did. I know the man is not perfect. He's perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. What I'm looking for is common sense policies, common sense direction. And a lot of stuff that he was doing and talk about and had intentions to do is common sense. And as a person that's an investor who's on a regular basis, I got to be able to stomach and understand that this is the way it's going to go, and I got to prepare myself for what could possibly happen. And that's the way that's what I've been doing. So every time I was talking about investing with that, this is all a long-term strategy for me. I'm not that familiar with crowdfunding. Honestly, I've heard of crowdfunding, but I am not familiar with it. I would have to do some research on that one. Is a subject that y'all really want me to get into. I can do some hard research because one thing is, I'm not gonna say I comprehend anything, but when it comes to finances, I try to. I tend to comprehend a lot more. I have no idea what crowdfunding, what they do, and how they do it, what it's about. Honestly, I never had to deal with it. I would actually have on it, and now if there's yeah, give me a second because I'm going to make a note of that. I'm gonna make a note of that, and when I find some time, I'm gonna probably go do some research on it, and maybe do a and then I'll probably at some point if I find out enough the way I feel as though it's probably some information that's useful. But Yeah, I don't honestly, like I said, I've heard of crowdfunding. I just don't know what it is that they do, uh, and what is the purpose. Really don't. So I would have to, like I said, I would have to, I don't know if there's crowdfunding like where people go to get money, where, I've heard of crowdfunding. I mean, assuming this is an assumption based off of what they're calling it. I'm assuming where, I mean, I'm using common sense here. I don't know if I'm right about this, but you allowed the crowd body's idea. I'm assuming that's what that's about, but I had to do my research on that one because I really honestly don't have an idea. But based off the name, you get the crowd to put all this money into a pot, like she said, and go fund me. And I guess they decide where the money going. They allow people to be able to borrow the money, or that's the money. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. But I'm not, you know, that's what it sounds like. But my thing is this. Yeah, okay. I mean, like I said, I had to go find out. I mean, it sounds like that. Um, that was a part about crowdfunding I heard of a little bit, but I never got into it at all. Like any information beyond hearing about crowdfunding. But I'm assuming, like Joyce said, kind of is probably close to like a GoFundMe, but based off the name, that's what it sounds like to me. But I would definitely look into it and do a little more research and then to kind of get a better perspective. A question for those that are on this live. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but I'm gonna try to. And this is a question for y'all. Y'all can answer for me if y'all want to get more information about cryptocurrency. I got a nephew that's probably more knowledgeable about it. Well, I ain't gonna say probably. He's a lot more knowledgeable about it than I am. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get him to come on the live one day and maybe possibly give everybody more insight of it. I don't know if he's gonna do it, but if y'all feel as though y'all want to know more about cryptocurrency, and if I can get him to come in on a live and a chance to ask questions about it, I would seek him out and see if I can. If y'all okay with that, I mean, if y'all feel as though y'all want to know more about it, I'll try to get him on the show, and see if we can get more insight on that, or create a live specifically for that reason, where everybody get a chance to ask questions. And I'm not saying he's going to end up knowing everything, but I know he invests in crypto a lot. He follows the market. He's a lot more in depth with the information. The only thing I would have to have him do is try to put cryptocurrency information into regular, normal understanding. You know what I mean? It's like when you talk to a doctor, they talk to the doctor form. No, put that in English, bro. I don't want to hear the doctor. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Since you said it, and I just wanted to see where they feel at. I do have money invested in crypto. But kind of understands the blockchain a lot more than I ain't gonna say more than I do. I figure maybe him talking about it might encourage people to understand it more. I do have crypto, just from my understanding. Let me put this is where part of my understanding, just so y'all can understand. This is the reason why I still do it. I want you to think about the dollars that you own. Let's say the folding dollars, right? The folding dollars that you own and the digital dollars that you own. Let's say you got $100 and you got digital dollars, right? Like, in your bank account, when you swipe your card, digital. All right. Let's say you go into a store that says, we don't take. Now, your cash still supposedly have the value of whatever it is, but they say they don't take cash. They only take your card. In that small stores, that cash is whatever is in there because they're not going to accept it. They're only going to accept your bank card. So in that segment right there, it's useless. Why? Because they won't take use the cash to purchase whatever it is you're trying to purchase. They only gonna allow you to use your bank card. Cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is kind of like that. It's building in an adoption. I mean, the more people adopt it, the more value, the more useful it becomes. Now, the part that I do know about cryptocurrency, unlike the bank account, let's say you go to pay something out of your bank account, and they say, oh, it's going to take 3 to 5 days for it to actually move that money from one thing to another. Cryptocurrency, when you pay something through cryptocurrency, it don't take that long. Like an hour, it's moved. As far as Bitcoin goes. So I know that it has a lot of usefuls. It's very, very useful, and it moves money. In fact, the problem with Bitcoin, the value of it changes so drastically that it's scary. That's the scary part. Like, okay, if I go pay for something with Bitcoin, yeah, it's paid for. Then when the person, it might be worth a lot more by the time, worth more or less by the time they get it. But you're gonna get it in Bitcoin. But now, the more people adopt Bitcoin, and the more people adopt, it brings more value to it, and the more people use it. It's just like cash. It's just in encrypted form as opposed to cash form or bank form. So that's where it's at. But the more to adopt it, the more value it becomes, the more useful it becomes. And this is where I think people are getting. This is where the scary part is. Like, okay. First hand, people say, oh, what's that? Okay, Bitcoin was at $3,000 at the time that I first saw Bitcoin. It's only worth about $3,000 per Bitcoin. That very same $3,000 Bitcoin is now worth $112,000 because people are adopting it. It's becoming useful. I'm quite sure people have seen places where they said, we accept Bitcoin in a form of payment. I'm quite sure you watched a movie where they say, oh, yeah, we're going to do it in Bitcoin or something like that. Bitcoin. You see how it's starting to be adopted when people are actually using it. So I thought it was a little scary too, but I still invested money in it. And I still have money in cryptocurrency. And honestly, my team members, one of them especially, they're heavier than I am. They're heavier in crypto and more than I am in crypto. And they've had it for quite a while. And the value of their crypto has, increased because they held on to it. So I'm saying that that's 100% how it works, but that's the level of understanding that I've obtained from it, from the research and stuff that I've done and stuff. Now you do have meme coins, which again, adoption of it matters. And then the supply of it matters. Bitcoin don't have a whole lot of supply, so therefore the value of it goes up a lot. Some of these other meme coins, they have so much of it that it's cheap. It's dirt cheap. It looks, but in reality, like they'll say, oh, something's going to be a lot of money. Well, if you look at the supply of it, unless the supply gets consumed up, the value of it's not going to go. The only way for that is for people to buy it and hold it, or people to use it more and become more useful. Then the value of it has a tendency to increase. If somebody bought one 6-7 years ago, when I saw it, they never touched it, they're sitting on $112,000 coin. One Bitcoin, just one. So you just don't know. That's my point, is that you don't know. But I think the more people get understanding of what cryptocurrency is, it's just another form of money. That's all, in my opinion, it's just money. But it's not like the United States money. It doesn't have like a central location where it's centrally controlled by like the Federal Reserve and stuff like that. I think the scary part is that it's not centralized, like the government doesn't control it. You know what I mean? So that's where I think a lot of the rest of it is more of it kind of, to me, in my opinion, it kind of goes back to where we didn't have money and people exchange goods. When you exchange goods and services, and it's just another form of money. It's just different. That's it. In my opinion, I don't see it. There's some stuff I'm still learning myself as it relates to it, but I know enough about it that I was comfortable with investing in it, even though it still has its risk to reward like anything else. But honestly, well, they say scared money don't make money. If you're scared, it's probably just to stay scared. But I've made money off. I've made money off of And I made more money off the meme coins than I did off anything, because that's the route that I went, and it still paid off. But I had to be patient, and I had to be able to just kind of sit on. There is a story I told y'all before where I missed out on a whole ton of money, but that's because I sold too soon. That was my mistake, because I sold too soon. So I was on to something and didn't realize I was positioned to something, and I could have made a ton of money, and I did not realize it because I sold too soon. That was my mistake. I sold too soon. I could have took a $400 investment and made $180,000, and I am not exaggerating. Not by any means am I exaggerating. But because I sold too soon, I missed out. So that's how I buy. I ain't trying to miss out on nothing else no more. Now, I do some selling, small times here and there, but I still have a certain amount that I hold. And the only time if it goes up a lot, I'll sell a little bit off, and I'll hold on to that money. If it goes in the red, a lot in the red, then I'll just start buying back, because for me, now it's not about the money, it's about accumulation. I want to accumulate as much of it as I can, that if I feel good pop, I turn out all right financially. That's where I go with. So I would tell people, like, if even if money, put a little bit of skin in the game. You ain't got to buy a bunch of it. So you know what? I'm gonna put a little bit of skin in the game. Just you never know where that's gonna go. You know what I mean? We waste money on a lot of stuff. So let's say you was looking at Dogecoin and you say, oh, it's only 20-something cents. So you know what? I got $50. I ain't got to do nothing with, and I put $50 there and never touch it. You never know what $50 and don't be 5 years from now. You know what I mean? You might look at your Dogecoin and say, oh, I got $3,000 sitting there. I didn't even know it was there. Why? Because I just ignored it. You just don't know. I mean, so I say, if you don't invest. I never invest when I'm not willing to lose. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. But I am going to try to reach out to him at some point. And try to get him on the show, and maybe he can explain from his perspective a lot more about cryptocurrency, to give people a chance to ask questions about how they feel about, you know, what he knows about crypto and how does it work and stuff like that. I'm only giving y'all what I know, and that's just how I look at it. I got money in crypto, and I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to hold it. Now, actually, I have crypto on 2 different accounts now, but the one account, all of it's in the green. The other account is I'm dead even. Like, literally, well, I ain't gonna say dead even. I am making money. I made money, but because I sold off and bought some back and accumulated more money that I made, I just reinvested it. So I still feel like I'm kind of dead even. That's the best way I can look at it. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. I know I try to do my lives this way because I try to get more in depth and stuff like that. I try to get into more in depth with this, but watching it live that Jay did yesterday just made me really think. And like, is it really worth getting into real estate when you see this is the level of destruction of people? And I'm not saying that there's everybody, but what I'm saying is that if you're going to invest in property or you invest in real estate and stuff, just be very, very careful. Like, any stock, real estate, business, anything like that, just be very, very mindful and be very, very careful. But also have a level of risk that you're willing to take for the sake of that. But God bless every single one of y'all, top to bottom. Thank you for coming in. Joyce, Just for Real, World Away From Here, out of here, whatever, those that might be in the background, my brother out the pit, God bless you. And those that may be in the background, whatever. I just wanted some peace and quiet today. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Like I always say, please make God first. If you ain't doing anything else, Ron's opinion don't matter. Only time it does is when it comes to having a relationship with God. That matters more than anything. And with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace.